Welcome to Brag Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. Hosted by Kandas and Larry Goins, best-selling real estate author. Whether it's learning how to be an active investor buying and selling houses or a passive investor earning double-digit returns, Larry and Kandas will show you how. In addition to helping you get started investing in real estate regardless of your current situation, they'll also show you ways to be generous with your time and resources. Let's get started with this week's Brag Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. Here are your hosts, Kandas and Larry.
That was perfect timing right there. Just right in,
with
right
the
into. That was awesome.
He's
that
got
was
it
awesome.
down.
I love
You
that
know
song.
he loves us.
That's awesome. It's almost as good as Van Halen. Welcome to Brag Radio,
How you
leading
doing?
the world to be rich and generous. I'm Larry, along with
Kandas,
what's happening.
how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Fine.
I can't hear anything in my headphones.
Turn your little volume
So,
thingy bobber up.
Yeah, but I hear you fine. I don't need you any louder in my head. That's for sure.
Believe me, I feel the same.
You probably don't need you any louder in your head either.
Well, we could go with you or with me. Ha, 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 ha.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, yeah, I'm really excited about today's show. We've been flipping houses, having fun, making money, doing deals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. We got if you're just tuning in for the first time, Brag Radio is all about investing in real estate to be rich and generous. We want people to become successful, make a lot of money, but also be able to give a lot away. Right, Kandas?
That's right. You can only use so much.
That's true. That is true. That's all you got?
That's all I got.
You can only use so much.
You can't take it with you.
That's true.
What else you want me to say?
That's true. Yeah, we do encourage people to help others. Be generous, brag. Be rich and generous. Right?
Right.
Good. So when we do that through real estate, we're local real estate investors. We bought and sold houses in, 12 different states now?
12, yep.
Something like that. We got
Sounds
about
right.
15 deals on the board right now. About 7 or 3, 15.
7 or 3.
Something like that. About 15 deals-ish on the
Mm-hmm.
board right now. And we got to tell you guys about Landon.
Well, I
right?
want to get back to, before we get into Landon, I know we've got about 15 on the board right now, which is up from where we have been, but I want to get back to the days of they are happening too quick to hit the board.
That's true. That's true.
You remember
it
those?
It used to be we had them sold very, 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 very quick. And, we went through a time where we fired everybody. For like, I wasn't
we had
going
to restructure.
I wasn't going to go there, but I went there. So, so we really did. We just pretty much, and I don't mean this in a bad way if you're listening, but we did. We just restructured. We
Change the model.
changed the model, and now we're back to day trading, buy, sell the same day.
Yep.
Real estate day trading. So that's what we're doing now. We're rebuilding the team, and we got a really good team started right now.
We really do.
And I'm really fired
so
up
excited.
about Andrea and Sylvia and Landon. If you guys come by for an office tour and see a real working real estate office, then you'll get to meet Andrea and Sylvia and Landon.
As long as he's not out.
And
putting out
maybe
signs.
even Kandas and I, right?
Right.
That's true. We have a lot of people come by for tours, don't we?
We do. I just scheduled one for tomorrow as well.
Really?
Not tomorrow. It's today, Saturday, so for Monday.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. That is good. We have people come by, and somebody just came by the other day. They heard us on the radio show, then they started listening.
I'm
So
excited.
she came by and signed up for our Inner Circle Apprentice program, where we're going to work with her one-on-one to, get her business up and running.
Yeah, that's what was, it was good talking to her about it because she was looking for that to be, a new beginning. When she left or when she leaves the office, that's going to be a new beginning. And that's really just where it starts. The 3 days in the office is just where everything gets started.
It's just the beginning.
Yep.
It's like a boot camp, for lack of a better word. Not boot camp in the sense of you and I hear about people going to real estate seminar boot camps or whatever. But it's really like,
In the trenches boot camp,
It's in
yeah.
the trenches boot camp. And then on day 3, we set you free. We kick you out of the nest. But we're there to help you and guide you and direct you, right?
Learn to fly on the way down.
That's awesome. That didn't sound too good.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's going to hurt a little bit because you're in a comfort zone. So
That's
it's
true.
not going to be all peaches and cream when you're starting out. But to have somebody there, have us there to answer questions, and whether it's us or not, just if you're interested and really serious about being in the industry, get educated and attach yourself to somebody, whether it's us or not.
That's true.
Messing with
That's
the
true. I'm sorry.
cord.
Am I bothering you?
Yes.
So I wanted to tell our listeners about Landon.
Well, tell them. Go ahead.
Landon's
They're
been
listening.
with
Tell them. Go ahead.
You got anything else?
No.
Why don't you tell them?
No, I don't know what you want to say about him. What do you want to say?
Whatever you want to say. Okay, so now you need me to get back up and come over to the mic. Okay, so
what is happening right now?
All right, so let's talk about Landon.
Go ahead.
Landon is our new sales rep. We call them asset managers, okay?
I don't like that term, but that's what we do call him right now.
Well, this is not that meeting.
Okay.
So
I'll give you that. Hey, somebody send me an email to info@bragradio.com with a better term to call Landon.
Well, we've called them sales reps. We've called them portfolio managers. We've called them asset manager. I like asset manager because, I mean, he's really disposing of the assets, right?
Yeah, but to me, like, asset is something, when I think about that, I think about, like, a bank asset manager, and it's pretty much like a portfolio along the same lines as a portfolio, and we don't want to hold what Landon's selling. We just want him to get rid of everything.
But in the REO space, in the real estate space, the asset managers are the ones that You're welcome. The asset managers are the ones that dispose of the assets. That's what they do. They're disposition managers.
No, there might be something there.
You like that name,
Disposition manager.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, Landon, he's been with us. This week will probably be 30 days he's been with us.
About like that, yeah. About that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he started full-time because he graduated high school. Just graduated. And May 29th was his first full-time day. Okay.
All right. So he's been with us a little bit longer than that. Okay. Mm-hmm. But he's already had 3 closings as of this airing.
Right. As of this airing,
He's had 3 closings as of this airing.
And he's got 2 or 3 more on the books.
Right. He does. He's had, since his 3rd week with us, he's had one closing a week, every single week, since his 3rd week with us, right?
Yeah, he's always so excited.
And guess how old he is?
17.
He's 17 years old.
I know how old he is. I had to do his HR paperwork.
Yes, you did. Get
his mama to sign stuff.
Get his mama to sign stuff.
He can't be any pictures. No pictures, please.
No, that wasn't what he wanted. He didn't understand.
No, I picked on him about it now.
We had this thing about a release about, can you be videotaped or, or
your likeness
audio
used in any of our marketing efforts.
Exactly, because it's not unusual for me to walk through the office with a camera or with my phone.
Yeah, that's very typical.
Doing Facebook Live or something.
Very typical. Yeah. Nobody's ever ready.
Well, I learned now to start warning people. I'm getting ready to come through.
That's smart. That's
and
good.
I'm doing a video. You don't have to say anything. Just smile and look pretty, right? So anyway, he's been with us now. Now I guess it will be about 6 weeks or so, but this kid is just a rock star. He's doing it, and he's 17 years old. And I got to tell you the story about how I met him, or how he met me. Okay.
Do we have time for that, Chad? What are we looking at right now? 1 minute.
We got 1 minute left. What, that's it?
You get so entangled in these rabbit holes that you go down. I just want to make sure we got time to do what we need to. Okay. Like, hey, call Macy, 877 Larry Go.
Well, you go ahead and do that.
All right, I'll do it then.
And when we come back, I'll tell the story about how he met me and how I knew this kid was a winner from the time I first met him.
All right. So you guys give Macy a call, 877 Larry Go, and she can get you scheduled for an office tour. Ask her to send you out an investor's kit. If you are close enough or want to come by the office, go ahead and do that. Schedule the office tour and pick up the physical investor's kit. If you're not close enough, ask her to send you the digital version. Make sure you talk to her, too, about the Charlotte 3-day event, August 4th, 5th, and 6th that's coming up. She can get you registered for that as well. Seats are going pretty fast, so I would give her a call as soon as you hear this. We will be right back.
welcome back to Brag Radio. Since Kandas is not paying any attention,
which is not
Chad's
uncommon
doing
either.
he's got 3 or 4 hand motions going on at one time.
How many Saturdays have I brought us back because we got air triangles and keyboards and guitars happening in this joint, and nobody else is paying attention?
Well,
there you go.
Hey,
it's a team effort around here.
Apparently not. So anyway.
So you want to talk about, this is Brag Radio, by the way. That's Larry and I'm Kandas.
That's Larry.
That's him right there. There he is.
Appreciate you. So yeah, before the segment, I was telling you about our new Rockstar asset manager, sales guy, disposition manager that's selling houses. Since his 3rd week, he has closed a deal a week since his 3rd week.
That's a bit different sound than the snap.
Yeah. 1 a week, right? So, and that's awesome. I'm really excited. And he's 17 years old. So I got to tell you this story. This is really cool because this kid, I'm telling you, this kid, I told him the other day, and I said this, I did a Facebook Live congratulating him on his very first deal. But I told him the other day, I said, you're going to be a millionaire.
Yeah, he will be.
And he will. Mm-hmm. He will. And it just blows me away because he was very aggressive, like you have said. Okay. But you were 10 times worse when you were his age.
See, we talked about that during the break. Like, why does that have to come up on air now? Like, he got it in the break. Why do we have to have that, you got to throw it out on air too?
I have to.
Yes, I was very red when we met.
It's there. Yeah, very red.
I'm more orange now.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But no, you got to be passionate about what you do, and he is, and I admire that about him.
So one Sunday afternoon, I'm at the car wash at I.D.E.A.L. Because people can tell, right?
And because you don't wash your own car.
No, I'm not going to wash my own car. I'm past that.
I'm past that.
So anyway.
Past it. Too lazy too. We'll just go with past that then.
Easy now.
All right.
So I'm at I.D.E.A.L. And this girl comes up and she's, you know how after you drive through the thing, well, maybe you don't, but well, yeah, you do because you have like a monthly subscription to them. Why are you giving me a hard time? I know this. You have like a monthly thing where you pay them whether you get your car washed or not. So now who's the diva, right?
It's not my car. It's Matthew's car.
Well, it doesn't matter. You still have a monthly subscription.
I was in the front yard washing my car with a bucket the other day.
So wait a minute. Your husband has a monthly subscription,
right,
but he won't get you one? Matthew. Listen, we got to take a little side break here.
This show is supposed to be about real estate. I'm not sure how we got on I.D.E.A.L. Anyway,
so I have my car washed, and they pull it out, and then somebody goes over there, and they're drying it off and armor-alling, all that stuff.
We get it. They know.
Right? So there was this girl come over, and she was, wiping down the car and stuff. And I look out there, and I see her doing that, and then a couple of minutes later, she's gone, and there's this other kid out there. And so after he, I didn't know if she got tired of it or didn't like the mess or whatever.
It's probably both. It is an SUV.
It is. It is. So the Lear Lexus. So anyway, so this guy, he's drying down the car and all that stuff. And I go over, and he's like, hey, so you flip houses? Because it says LarryBuysHouses.com on the side of my Lexus.
All over it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, all over it. So I got to be able to write off the car. Come on.
Go finish the story.
So anyway, so he strikes up a conversation about real estate. He's like, so you flip houses? Yeah. So how's that going? What are you doing? Yeah, well, I'm interested in that. I've been working with this guy. I'm like, how's it going? He said, well, not too good. So I said, well, I'll tell you what. We got to talking a little bit. He's asking me all these questions. I said, well, I'll tell you what. My office is just right down the street. Come by one day and I'll give you one of my books. He said, I've already read all your books. This kid's 17 years old. He's like, I've already read all your books. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. So he said, do you ever need any additional people working with you or whatever? Because what I'm doing right now, working for a guy long distance, it's not really working out. I said, come on by and see me. So, and I got to tell you, I mean, I can tell a person, or I judge a book by its cover a lot of times, don't I, Kandas?
You do.
I do. But Kandas digs deep, okay? So this kid comes by, and he's like, I'm really impressed with him. I'm like fired up, and he's really aggressive. He's motivated. He's hungry. And Kandas is slowing me down. Like, whoa, no. Wait a minute. Kandas is like, no, this reminds me of so-and-so. Wait a minute, you're going to penalize this 17-year-old because he reminds you of somebody else that he don't even know that we had a bad experience with. So now I'm having to sell Landon and Kandas, right? So after about 7 or 3 interviews, right?
No less than 5.
Yeah, no less than 5.
He was in the office at least.
Yeah. So we hired this kid, and he actually was coming by, and for lack of a better term, I'll call it hanging out after school until he graduated high school, right?
Right.
So once he graduated high school, that kid hit the ground running, right?
He did.
So he hit the ground running, and from his 3rd week on, he's been buying and selling houses. Had a closing a week every week since his 3rd week, and I'm just really excited about having him on the team, and people are excited about it. We did that Facebook Live thing, and we got other investors that are doing hundreds of deals across the country congratulating him on doing his first few deals.
But that's not uncommon, though. Even though he's in the office working, it's not uncommon from people that learn the strategies that we use to be running that quickly.
You're exactly right.
Time. It's not like he's not really supernatural with it. His age gives him, this persona of, 17-year-olds typically aren't doing this type of thing. I get that, but it's not uncommon with the way that we do things for people to be, closing deals every week after they learn the strategies.
You're exactly right.
I love him to death and don't want to take his thunder or whatever you want to call it, but students do it all the time.
That's true. Hey, listen, for most 17-year-olds, just the fact that he has an interest in real estate is what impresses me.
Something other than girls and Friday night football.
Right, exactly. So I am excited for him. He's going to do really, really well. And, it reminds me of one of our inner circle students. You said something about that, it's not uncommon, it's not unusual. I get an email from Jody the other day, one of our inner circle students that was at our office recently and came through our inner circle apprentice program, and they've already got 3 deals under their belt, and they're closing deals back to back to back, right?
Yeah.
And they had to get rid of a problem property, which I gave them some ideas and suggestions for that, but they had to get rid of a problem property before they could even start.
That's right. Yeah.
And now they're just doing deals back to back to back, which it's really cool. I love that. And they went from doing fix and flips, which you guys all know I hate fix and flips. I hate rehabs and tenants.
There's other people for that. What did you say about watching it? You're past that. You're past the rehabs.
I'm past the rehabs.
I'm over it.
I'm past the rehabs, right? Right? There's other kind of rehab, out there that I might have to go to sometime.
Seriously?
Nah, I'm just kidding. But
you know how many people are going to be talking now?
I know, right? That's crazy.
What you start.
And it's like I don't even drink,
No, I know.
I've been quit drinking. Not that I ever drank much, but for
quit.
2 years.
I've been quit for over 2 years.
I done been quit for over 2 years.
2.5, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all because my son said one day, "Hey, would you not do that anymore?" I'm like, "Really? Seriously?" And that was like one of the only times he ever saw me with a beer in my hand. We were just having pizza, I know, right? He said, "Please don't do that." I'm like, "Okay." And I haven't touched it since. But so we got 1 minute left. What are we going to talk about in the next minute?
Apparently call Macy because there hasn't been any other real estate talked about right now. So give Macy a call, 877-LARRY-GO, and get her to schedule you for an office tour where you can come by and check out how we run real estate through our office. And I promise it does get done more frequently than the way we talk about it on this show, but it is a common occurrence in the office. Get her to schedule you for an office tour. Get her to send you out a investor's kit. Also, we've got the Charlotte 3-day event coming up August 4th, 5th, and 6th. Get a seat reserved for that. You, your partner, your spouse, whoever you want to come with you, or just come by yourself. There'll be plenty of others there, plenty of other people there to network with too. Info@bragradio.com is my email. If you have questions that you would like to have answered about real estate investing or about us, just shoot those over to info@bragradio.com. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
It's okay. I got it, Kandas.
We're
And we're back.
I'm trying to make notes on what it is we're talking about coming up. And
what? Loaf of bread, gallon of milk? Yeah, sure you are.
that is not what I wrote down. Green Street is what I wrote down because we need to talk about some kind of real estate this week.
Yep, we do.
Can you not keep your cord over there somewhere?
Am I bothering you?
It gets caught in my flip-flop, and I'm already broken.
You already have a game leg.
I'm already broken. We don't
You already
need
have a game
another
leg.
one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I wanted to talk about one of our deals that we're going. I wanted to just pick one to teach some valuable lessons on this episode of Bragg Radio.
Yeah,
so let's talk about Green Street, okay? This is a property that we got under contract about 3 weeks ago, okay? About 3 weeks ago, all right? And this is one of Sylvia's deals. So we got this under contract about 3 weeks ago. It's a humongous house.
House.
It's like almost 4,000 square feet.
So pretty.
25 square feet or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
It's big.
But it's a historic house. It's an old house, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Built in the early 1900s-ish. And it's got a wraparound porch.
It's a really pretty property.
It's a very pretty property. And this is a property we have under contract for $42.5, I believe. We have it under contract for $42.5.
Yeah.
So, but it needs a lot of work. And probably about 50 to 70,000 ish in work. Okay. To bring it back to its good condition, right?
Now, even though it's a historic house, it's not in a historic district, so it doesn't have to be brought back to any kind of historic standards for the city or the county or anything.
Right. It's in a neighborhood, not a residential district.
Right. It's just the 50 to 70 is what it's going to take because of the size of the property.
You had no idea what I just said, did you?
No, I don't.
I said it's in a neighborhood, not a residential district.
A neighborhood. Oh gosh. Yeah. See, no, I don't. I just those go in one ear and out the other. I just don't even hear them anymore.
I believe it. All right. So this is a house we got under contract for $42.5. I think they were asking $69.9 maybe.
Sounds
or something
right,
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got it under contract for $42.5. And now, normally, we would not buy a property with this much repairs, okay? Because I like to buy properties because we're wholesaling most of our properties, day trading, and when you call Macy, you can get a copy of that book for free, Getting Started in Real Estate Day Trading.
Yes.
Because we buy and sell them the same day, okay? In fact, we had a closing last week where we bought it at 10 o'clock and sold it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And made 14,000-ish.
Green Street.
Okay, let's get back to Green Street.
So 50 to 70 in rehab. What's the ARV? What was it?
The ARV is, there's one down the street that's 210, I believe is what it is. Now, a couple problems with this house, but we've decided to move forward with it anyway. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is to show you that you can do this. Even if you make a mistake, you will not lose money, okay? You can back out and you will not lose money. So what we've done is it needs a lot of work. So I told Sylvia and Andrea, I said, let's go ahead and get a couple of rehab estimates. Now, normally we wouldn't do this, but on a 50 to 70,000 rehab, we want to go ahead and get some rehab estimates.
Well, the people that are going to be calling are going to be true rehabbers. They're going to want to know, so we're going to have to be a little bit more on top of our game with the rehab to answer the questions that they've got.
It'll also let us know. You're right, Kandas. It'll also let us know.
Can we let's snippet that?
No.
Can we snippet that?
Okay,
Chad, let's snippet that.
In the replay, it's I agree. Okay,
no,
not you're right, Kandas.
No. I need that as a ringtone for him.
Okay, so we would normally not get rehab estimates, but because it needs 50 to 70,000 ish in repairs, we are going to get rehab estimates. And we've called multiple contractors. We just haven't had any give us the prices yet. Okay. Now we went ahead and did our marketing. We put out bandit signs, about 25 bandit signs. Those are just the signs that say foreclosure with the price and the phone number.
And we're selling it for what?
And we're selling it for $59.9.
Right.
However, we weren't getting a lot of calls on it, okay? And some of the calls we're getting, a big rehab like that is intimidating to people. So we have dropped the price to $49.9. Okay. So now we're going to send it back out to all the people that were interested. All right. We've also, since then, we've been able, we went back in and tried to get a discount. Okay. We went back in and tried to get the 42.5 down to 30. Okay. That didn't happen, but they did agree to 40. All right. So we got it renegotiated down to 40, and we got our due diligence period extended for about another 15 days.
Right.
Now, as long as, guys, listen to this, as long as you close during your due diligence period, okay, or as long as you set up your closing during your due diligence period, you'll never, ever, ever lose a deposit, even if you put up $500 or $1,000 deposit. If you're always extending the due diligence period, even if the day before closing you back out, you can say, I'm backing out because the due diligence came back, more repairs, more this, more that, foundation cracked, whatever it is. Then you can back out and you will get your $500 or $1,000 deposit back because you never went past your due diligence period. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. So we've got it down to $40,000, and we've lowered our price from $59.9 down to $49.9. So we're going to put it back out to our buyers again, okay, and see if we can create some interest in it, because this kind of property with major repairs, if if we get those rehab estimates back, okay, and we go back into these people that showed an interest in it, a $10,000 swing might be just enough for them to say, hey, $10,000, yeah, I'll go ahead and buy it from you, right? And we're still going to make $10,000 minus closing costs. Right? So
a little bit lower than what we average or what we want, but
exactly.
Hey, it's a wholesale deal.
Exactly.
Fine.
But guys, what I would suggest to you is when you get deals under contract, try to start with the ones that don't have major rehab, okay? That, maybe the rehab is going to be $15,000 to $25,000. This one is a huge major rehab, okay? It's a big, huge historic house, all right? So you're limiting yourself, or we are limiting ourselves on the number of buyers, because not every buyer is going to be comfortable with a $50,000 to $70,000 rehab.
Right.
Exactly. So worst case scenario, if we don't sell this property in the next few weeks whenever our due diligence period ends, okay, or let's say we get a buyer that says, hey, I can't buy this property for $49,000, but I'll give you $40,000 for it, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to go back to our seller before our due diligence period ends, and then what we're going to say is, hey, I'm sorry, just based on everything, we can't pay you $40,000, but we can pay you the $30,000.
Right.
If they say no, then we cancel the contract and get our deposit back.
Right.
Right?
No love lost.
Exactly. But if they say yes, or even, what if they even say, I'll split the difference with you, I'll take $35,000. Well, hey, I'd rather make $5,000 than zero, right?
Yes, yeah, especially after we put time in the deal.
I'd rather make a little bit of something than all of nothing. Now, yes, our organization, we have many mouths to feed. We have acquisitions, we have sales,
and
we
I
have
ain't cheap.
Overhead. Nor reasonable. Right? So we do have many mouths to feed. So we need to make more money. But I've closed deals, actually. I've closed deals before where I basically broke even, or maybe even lost $1,000 or so, just to keep that relationship going with the listing agent. Okay. Right. And I also let them know if I ever have to close on a deal or if I ever elect to close on a deal just to keep the relationship going with the agent, I will basically tell them, hey, look, I'm not making any money on this deal, but I'm going to go ahead and close on it because I want to build the relationship with you. I want to show you that I do what I say, and I'm going to stand behind the deal. We're going to go ahead and close on it, okay?
Right.
And sometimes they'll even offer to lower their commission. Imagine that, right? To help us out. So we've got a 3-day event coming up, right?
We do. August 4th, 5th, and 6th.
That's awesome. 3 days of just me teaching and training, all 3 days, going through all the different kind of deals. We're going to show you what to do and how to do it, whether you want to be an active investor or a passive investor, right?
That's right. Give Macy a call. She can help you get those reservations set up. Reserve your seat for that. 877-LARRY-GO. You could also send an email in to info, I-N-F-O, at bragradio.com. Check out Brag Radio for all our other show archives and upcoming news and events. And we'll be right back. I'm watching you this time, Chad. We're back. I was waiting on it that time.
Good for you, Kandas.
I know. After
1 out of 3 is not bad.
Hey, easy now. So, is the fourth segment. I'm excited. This is my favorite part of every show, is being able to spotlight and highlight students that are making a difference in other people's lives, that are doing deals.
They're bragging.
They are. They really are. They're really bragging. And so we've got Celie on today. Now, she's been on before, and she's got another deal. She's helped somebody else, and she's all over the place with us. She's in the Facebook groups. She's on the calls with the inner circle students,
the coaching calls.
She's so active with everything, and I think that's so wonderful that she's just so eager to help everybody else. And so I wanted to have her on again. Are you there?
Yes, dear.
There she is.
Welcome to the show. What's up?
Hey, how you all doing?
We're doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So, do you want me to give you the skinny on this last one?
The latest and greatest.
The latest,
yeah.
Now, listen, I know you're rocking and rolling. You've been on the radio show before. You're on all the coaching calls and all that stuff. So, yeah, we wanted to have you back on because you're just continuing to do more and more deals and be more successful. And the more you get, the more you can give. I remember you put that in one of the Facebook posts encouraging some people. So that's awesome. So, yeah, tell us about your latest and greatest deal.
Okay, so this deal was one that actually took a dump, but I put it back on Craigslist because, anytime you're doing these deals, something can go sideways. It did, but it was actually a blessing. Because what happened was I put the ad on Craigslist. So it was a great deal. We're making good money on it. I put an ad on Craigslist, and a lady called me and said that she had been paying on a house for 5 years, even paying extra sometimes, thinking that she was going to own the house. It turned out that some unscrupulous person burned her very badly, and after 5 years of paying, they didn't allow her to make her December of 16 payment. Therefore, she was in default, and she was qualified to buy the house. She's a perfect buyer. She's been working for the federal government for 16 years, brings home about $5,000 or $6,000 a month. We met her over at the house. She also has a special needs child. Her husband stays home with the child. She works. They came over. They loved the house. I checked with account servicing. Yes, she was paying for 5 years. The poor woman was shaking. She was waiting for the sheriff to show up at the house that she thought she was buying for 5 years. Once I found out that she was qualified for sure, we gave her a $10,000 discount off the price of the house. We were making enough. We gave her the discount of $10,000.
Good for you.
We gave her the keys to the house because she didn't know if the sheriff was going to show up at her house. And she has an autistic daughter, and change is not good. Change is not good. So we gave her the keys to the house, said, move your family in here, start moving today. They moved in. We have not charged them a dime of rent. The utilities are just getting changed over now because she's closing on Monday. That house that she thought she was buying, this will give you goosebumps, is right behind the house that she's buying from us.
No.
Yes. She says, that's the house I thought I was buying.
So she can walk the furniture across the backyards.
Well, they had one of those mini things waiting because they were, they didn't know where to go. and her sister lives down the street and is buying a house down the street, has been buying it for a few years. So she has her sister down the street. We've sold the note. My note buyer here in Arizona has a note buyer. We're doing a simultaneous closing. Boom, boom, boom.
And how much money? Let's go into the detail of the deal a little bit. What did you guys buy it for? What was it listed for? What did you pay for it?
What it was listed for was, I think, oh geez, we didn't go back off the price of the house a lot because it was such a super deal.
Yeah,
but you knew the value, so you didn't have to.
Seven, huh?
You knew the value, so you didn't have to.
Oh, I knew the value. Oh, and I knew the end result. So to me, it was worth paying a little more because I already knew the answer.
Yeah, a deal's a deal.
So a deal's a deal. And with everything, well, we only put about $8,000 in it, new floor and paint. That's all we're doing. We're not doing any big rehabs. We gave that up. So now, thank you, Larry, we gave that up.
You're welcome.
We didn't give it up till I met you.
That's awesome.
My husband says he'll do these deals all day long. He was in the construction end of it.
He's loving you now, right?
No, he's loving you.
You're welcome.
So, all said and done, we're going to walk away with about $54,000.
And that's
Shut
after
up.
giving her a $10,000 discount on the price?
Correct.
That's awesome.
Correct. And backing off of the note a little bit, too.
That is
So
awesome.
That was a deal. It was meant to happen for it to fall out with us so that we could help this family.
That's awesome.
That's how I feel.
So you got a deal that you paid pretty close to list price for, or maybe even over.
Correct.
I don't know. Was it at
No,
list price?
No,
or
it was under. It was a few thousand under.
A few thousand under list price, okay? And you sold the property at a 10% discount after you did a light rehab, paint and carpet-ish kind of stuff.
$10,000 discount, not 10%.
Oh, a $10,000
Right.
discount.
Mm-hmm.
And she moved in, has instant equity in the property, and
Correct.
And I'm guessing she probably has payments less than rent also.
About the same. The rent's about the same because the taxes are a little higher there.
Right.
And we had to make the note buyer happy also. So it's at a 9%, 25-year note.
That is great. That is great.
Fully amortized. She's out of it. She can pay ahead of time if she wants, pay more on it. But it's a fully amortized 25-year note at 9%.
That's
And
a
you've
textbook deal.
Yeah, she's already sold the note, too.
You already sold the note. You did a simultaneous close and sold the note right there, so you got paid right away. That's awesome.
Monday is payday.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. That's great. So tell us some things in the couple minutes, minute and a half or so we have left. What are I know you're a big giver of time and money. Tell us some things
Yes.
you're doing in addition to what we talked about before.
Well, we give any time we can. Right now, it seems that my calling has been help people, actually your students. And the funny thing is, because they'll contact me and say, well, how are you doing it if they're getting frustrated? And I said, don't get frustrated. Just, for me, it works that I look at the end result. And if I'm going to make a big chunk of money, I'll pay a little more rather than lose the deal.
Right.
So actually, it was funny. One of your students, he's only bought the book, but he's looking to go to the 3-day. We might end up, he's in Texas, and we're under contract for a HUD in Texas. We might end up wholesaling the deal to him.
So you're joint
that he
venturing
gets-
with other students because you're out there and networking with the group. Awesome.
Correct.
I told you, she's everywhere.
And they're in their, and don't forget, I'm in my 60s. I'm going to be 67 in September. This couple happens to be in their 60s. So they've gotten hurt on a lot of other things also, so they're very cautious. But I'm
Wow.
sending them a CMA. I'll even send them the real estate agent who is an absolute sweetheart. If you want this deal, we're buying it for, oh, geez, let me think real quick. In the 40s, 42, maybe 42.7. I like to put sevens in my numbers.
That's
and
awesome.
We would sell it to them for 69.
That's great,
the
Seeley.
ARV, they'd have no problem selling it 109. I think it's got an ARV of like 120.
Congratulations, Seeley. That's awesome. You keep up the good work.
We'll see you soon.
And that's going to wrap it up for today's Bragg Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. For more information about what Larry and Kandas talked about on today's show, or to get a free investor's kit, call 877-LARRY-GO. That's 877-527-7946. You can also go to braggradio.com. Make sure to tune in every Saturday for Bragg Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. Larry and Kandas will show you how to invest in real estate and the many ways real estate creates the ideal investment here on News 1110 99.3 WBT.